Good morning, friends, and welcome back for day 3 of the 2021 PSCL playoffs. Steve Granado alongside with you. To my right, Sam Walters, all set for day number 3 as the Grizzly and A's, the 13 versus 1 seed, are set to square off, and we'll have a pitching matchup that we've seen already this year. For the Grizzly, they send Alex Carrillo, Ubaldo Romo gets the start today for the LumberJacks. Excited here for this one. Game 1 of 3 game coverage today. 2 in the playoffs coming up a little later, Haymakers and Blue Sox. But in front of us again, Grizzly, LumberJacks. The Grizzly bat first here as the away team in the lower seed. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. We get started today 6 minutes tardy. It's 9:06. It has cooled down here in Palm Springs. 91 degrees here at game's first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes here on Antonio Cruz, the right-handed bat here at the top of the order. He'll take a strike on the corner, and it's 1-1. Antonio Cruz, J.R. Freethy, and Hayden Huff for the Grizzly. Further in the order goes Jude Luttrell, Mark Kirkland, and Jake Biscaluz. The bottom part reads Alex Carrillo, Michael Macias, and Connor Hennings. 1-1 overthrown slider misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, we have seen this matchup before. Ubaldo Romo faced off with these Grizzly back on June the 25th. He tossed 4 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball while striking out a season-high 6 batters. The 2-1 is floated in for a strike. 2-2. So work cut out historically. These two teams faced off twice in the regular year, and the LumberJacks took both of them en route to a number 1 seed. 2-2 here on Antonio Cruz. Floated out to left center field. Nobody's home. Down for a leadoff single. And Cruz is aboard first. See how Josh Hernandez and company stack up.
And the defense in the field for the Jacks, left to right in the outfield. Josh Hernandez is out in left. Isaiah Alvarez covering center. Arthur Soto in right. Third to first on the infield. Bailey Bordas is at third. Jacob McCaskey at short, turning it with Vinny Bachelier at second. Jackson Millett holding on the runner at first, and Drake Bicknell behind the plate.
J.R. Freethy now to the dish with a runner aboard at first and nobody out to begin this. Pickoff throw to first. He's in safely. Baldo Romo set. The right-hander kicks and deals. Soft liner again into left center field. Back-to-back knocks here for the Grizzly. Put them on first and second. Well, we know the Grizzly are going to have to come out strong here today to make some statements, a little bit of noise here in the early going against Romo. We know he does not give up a ton of opportunities.
They're just continuing the same swings they had going against the Snowbirds the other day. Total of 14 hits in that game versus the Snowbirds. The next day, 15 hits.
Hayden Huff now to the dish. Showing bunt here early is Huff. A look at second. Winner of this one goes on to face off with either the Rush or the North Stars. That one in for a strike to begin the at-bat on Huff, who again was showing bunt there momentarily, decided not to ultimately when the pitch came. Both teams green tops and white bottoms. So again, we'll do our best, as we always try, to get you the information you need when trying to decipher between these two clubs.
They look like shadows on this vibrant green field today.
Yeah, it really does. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. The MLB draft is back up and running. Today is very quick now, rounds 3 through 10. They essentially just keep picking back to back with no time limits in between. They just rock and fire for all the picks throughout the final 7 rounds. So if there's anything of note, we'll make sure to let you know. 1-1. Overthrown again. Bicknell has it go through his legs, but he stops it. 2-1. So rounds 1 through 3 the last couple of days. And again, or pardon me, 1 through 10, I should say. And it's 11 through 20 today. Huff off the end of the bat, flips it down the line, just foul by a few feet. Well, there hasn't been hard contact. 2 flares into left center. That one just poked down the right field line. Luckily for Ubaldo Romo, just foul.
Yeah, those kind of hits are when guys start flirting with fire. It's already been soft contact into left center.
Winner moves on again to the semifinals. Hayden Huff swings through this one. First out of the ball game, Ubaldo Romo punches out Huff for the first one. Brings up Jude Luttrell. Well, we know one of the bigger weapons for Ubaldo Romo and this club en route to their success has been his ability to shut things down and stop rallies. Luttrell trying to make some noise here after lead off 2 singles. Coming home. Barely got a piece of it. Luttrell out of the cleanup spot today, the right fielder. We're in the top of the first without a score. Luttrell 14 games played and entering today, a .233 average. Just 4 RBIs in 14 games. The weather has certainly subsided from yesterday, not as muggy whatsoever. That bodes well for all parties involved. That's on the corner for a strike. 1-1, or 0-2 rather. So you're starting to see Ubaldo Romo pound the zone now. In the dirt with this one. Ubaldo Romo has allowed 2 earned runs or less in each of his outings this year. Last pitched on July the 9th, which was 4 days ago. He only went 2 1/3 in that outing. Missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you are the Grizzly, you cannot afford to waste this opportunity. We have talked about the theory around 7-inning ball games, which is what we've been playing all year, and how everything is under a bit of a magnifying glass because of it. You have less time and less outs to work with. 2-2. Ground ball back towards the middle. Diving shot by the shortstop McCaskey. On over to Bachelier. He goes on over to first for the double play. Ends the inning as Jude Luttrell is robbed of an RBI knock, and the LumberJacks get out of it here in the first. A pair of singles to begin the ball game goes by the wayside, and the Jacks coming to the plate with a little momentum in their first ups in a scoreless affair. What a start to this ball game. It looked like the Grizzly were going to tag Ubaldo Romo, but Jacob McCaskey had other plans to turn the inning-ending double play. And it'll be he who ended that frame to lead things off here in the bottom of the first, followed by Vinny Bachelier. Isaiah Alvarez thereafter. They're all facing off with Alex Carrillo, who again has faced off with these LumberJacks before and looked pretty darn good. Back on June the 25th, tossed 2 innings, struck out 5. Faced 11 batters, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. First pitch to McCaskey is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, Sam, if you are the LumberJacks, obviously the favored team, but you got to use that momentum to your advantage to stick it to them early.
We know McCaskey knows how.
One of the power members takes one down. Batting cleanup today, Drake Bicknell, followed by Jackson Millett and Elvis Farina Jr. The bottom part of the order will come to you here in just a second. The right-hander Carrillo set, works exclusively from the stretch. He misses outside. Bottom part of the order goes Josh Hernandez, Bailey Bordas, and Arthur Soto. Both teams electing to use 9 batters today.
We're starting to see McCaskey move up in the lineup everywhere he plays.
Yeah.
He's been a cleanup guy or a third hole guy for a long time. Now he's in the leadoff.
Fouls this one off to make it 2-2.
He just has that spark. Obviously, you would like to see him go out and be able to get runners in. But something about him is just you can lead the league in homers and still have a huge effect on your team, especially since he has really good speed and a really good knowledge on the base path.
Trying to get things going here for the LumberJacks. Carrillo trying to stop it dead in its tracks. Next pitch is going to be sliced out towards right center field, but playable for Antonio Cruz. Tell me about that outfield and infield, Sam.
Sure can. Grizzly are running out a lineup in the defense like this. Left to right in the outfield, Connor Hennings is out in left. Antonio Cruz is in center, and Jude Luttrell in right. Third to first on the infield, Michael Macias at the hot corner, Hayden Huff at short. Turning it up the middle with J.R. Freethy at second. Mark Kirkland is at first, and Jake Biscalou's behind the plate.
A lot of these guys have played together this summer. Against and with. One down, and nobody aboard. We're in a scoreless ball game here in the home half of the first. First pitch to Vinny is going to be down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Or no balls and 1 strike. Two games here, 2 games on the turf. 2 games tomorrow, then the championship tomorrow night. That's all that's left in the PSCL this year. Broken bat flare towards short. Easily playable for Hayden Huff, and there's 2 down in the air. So we'll have this one. We will have both semifinals tomorrow. And then at 7:05 tomorrow night, championship game, 9 innings, all the marbles.
We really blazed through it, so I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, any team can go down in a grind like this.
Takes 4 wins to get through. Of course, the LumberJacks only need 3 because of their first round bye.
Along with the Bombers and the Blue Sox.
1-0 here to Isaiah Alvarez, who dons the number 13 in man center field today.
We'll see the Blue Sox later, and the Bombers are playing over on the turf right now.
Floated on the right side of the diamond. Freethy giving chase. He will give way to Jude Luttrell. And that's a 1-2-3 first for Alex Carrillo. We have played 1 inning at Palm Springs Stadium, and we're looking for some scores as we go to the top of the second. An inning in the books. We go to the second without a score alongside Sam Walters and Steve Granado. Glad you can join us here on this Tuesday morn as Mark Kirkland will lead off the top of the second. Ubaldo Romo and Alex Carrillo tossing zeros in the first. Both guys, like many in this league, no windup. 1-0. You can only venture a guess as to why that is becoming more popular, at least here around these parts. I feel like as a whole, it is slightly becoming popular in the game itself. Here's a cue ball down the line at third base for an extra base knock. Mark Kirkland trips around first. So he's going to stay put at first base, and that's a gift for the LumberJacks.
He didn't look like a Grizzly there. He looked more like a Panther. Tripped around first and went down to a knee, started. He was down on all fours. It was so funny. He just gave a look to the bench, like, give it a good waggle.
Give a good waggle.
That was good, Mark.
That's the original line for give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah. Give him a good waggle.
Sure. Those words have never been spoken. All right, Jake Biscaluse now. Runner aboard at first. That's the third hit for the Grizzly already. Inside, 1-0. Sam, obviously, on paper, LumberJacks' favorite team, 1 versus a 13. But when these two teams met at the end of June, it was only a 4-2 ball game. So it's not like the LumberJacks are invincible. And we're already seeing some of the seams busting here. Lined foul, first base side.
Yeah, a lot of what it takes to be able to get to the heart of the LumberJacks is just working in deep counts against their pitchers. If they can start working efficiently to you, they know how to get you out early on ground balls, fly balls, whatever it takes. A lot of their guys aren't going to go up there with strikeout stuff that just put it past you. They want you to get yourself out. So if you're able to work the count, find a pitch you like, they're finding pitches early.
Throw back to first, and Kirkland scurries. Mark on the base pass in the PSCL reads 5 for 6 stolen base attempts. Biscaluse has been very hot over the last week. I'll take one for a strike. 0-2. Not only with the bat, but we've talked about his proliferation of the arm and just defensively all around behind the plate. Coming home with it. Rang him up on the inside edge. That was the best pitch of the day here for Ubaldo Romo. There's nothing Biscaluse could even think about doing there. By the time he thought about it, it was too late, and he's already walking back to the dugout. Will be the second time in these PSCL playoffs that we see a pitcher hitting for himself. Alex Carrillo to the plate. Breaking ball down, 1-0. Runner aboard at first with one out. We're looking for the first run of the ball game. We're in the top of the second. Quarterfinal matchup here in the PSCL. High and tight, 2-0. Neither guy has really fallen behind too far today in a count.
Nope, we haven't seen a 3-ball count yet.
You send Kirkland here, Sam?
I might try it. Maybe not on this pitch.
Out of play. Always towing the line between aggressive and overly aggressive. Kirkland again has had success on the bases this year.
I would try it on this pitch.
On a 2-1.
2-1, I feel a slider.
Kirkland gets his sign. Not much of a lead at first. They're also not really looking at him much. 2-2. It doesn't really look like Kirkland's thinking about it. So stride and a half.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's getting relayed signs.
Again, they're really not looking at him either, so you can make that lead a little bigger. Watch Carrillo, or rather Romo, hasn't even looked. Swing and a miss. Got Carrillo out in front. Back-to-back Ks, 3 on the day. There's 2 gone. Michael Macias now will try and get a rally going with 2 outs. Breaking ball popped up, first base side. And that one will be caught to end the inning. So a leadoff knock, which could have been a double, but Kirkland caught his toes on the lip. And that'll finish off the first with a rather quick 3 outs. To the bottom of 2, it's still 0-0. Bottom 2 coming your way here with a 0-0 ball game. The catcher, Drake Bicknell, will lead it off against Alex Carrillo, who had a very clean first inning with 3 pop-ups. So as we begin this second, still looking for the first hit from the Jacks, and that's a big, long swing and miss from Bicknell. It's 0-1. I mentioned this game could be an upset. And if it were anybody to do it, I feel like the Grizzly are primed to. 0-1 lifted down the right field line in foul territory. Kirkland checks his landing, and we'll watch it fall.
Yeah, the Grizzly are built for a matchup like this. Mostly, it's just they have to avoid beating themselves. Obviously, that goes for every single team in this league. It's just when it comes down to playing a team like the LumberJacks, who went on a 9-game win streak and had all this hype behind them, most of the time it was because teams were letting them play to their strengths. If you get them uncomfortable, start working that lineup as much as possible the way that Alex Carrillo has. It's really not an insurmountable task.
Very mortal. On its way to Bicknell. Soft pop-up, left side, long race, and no one's going to get there. Man, the amount of times we've seen little dunkers into the outfield in this playoffs, more times than I can count. That's the first hit and first base runner for the Jacks.
Little dunkaroos.
They made those again, by the way. They brought them back.
Never had them.
They're not that good.
Yeah. They look cool, though. The little blue packaging. Reminds me of the old Lunchables.
Jackson Miller to the plate. They get a courtesy runner at first.
Probably Kenneth Booth.
I'd imagine so as well. He hasn't showed us his number yet.
Oh, yeah, that's Kenny.
That's Kenny.
Oh, my God.
Jackson Millett now. I like him establishing that inside part of the plate even though he doesn't get the strike.
Yeah, especially against Millett, who easily, if you leave one middle in, maybe not all the way inside like that pitch was, if you start leaving a middle in, he's just going to turn it right over the line.
Jackson Millett walked 12 times in the regular season. He'll foul this one off. That's in 11 games. Got him leaning there, but he didn't have much of a lead. Bicknell was looking down, or rather, Booth was looking down to third, trying to get the signs. And that's when Carrillo decided to go, hey, you awake over there? Answer was no. Upstairs with it, 1-1. Oof, that didn't miss by much. That's a pretty good spot there from Alex Carrillo. It's 3-1. There goes a runner. The pitch is down and out. So the throwdown doesn't matter because it's ball 4. So that's the first walk we've seen here today, even though Booth was out. Pretty good toss, though. Elvis Farina Jr. comes to the plate with the first opportunity to bring home runs for the Jacks. We're scoreless with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Off speed, misses up and out, 1-0. Little bouncer back towards the mound, could be another double play. They get it to Huff, who relays it to first, and it is a double play. We've seen 2 of them turn here today on either side. The inning isn't over. Bicknell, the courtesy runner, Booth, gets to third. And there's 2 outs, and Elvis Farina Jr. upset at himself.
That's an easier play for Alex Carrillo than it might be for many other pitchers, considering he plays the middle infield.
Sure. Can feel this position well. Goes 1-6-3 on the twin killing to bring up Josh Hernandez, who will be the last hope here in the second inning. Outside with it, 1-0.
Quite honestly, I don't think I'd rather have anyone up right now if I'm the LumberJacks. Josh Hernandez is just a guy that knows how to find gaps.
Just put the ball in play.
Yep.
1-0 pitch. Make it 1-1. Runner at third base. We're scoreless. Sprayed to left field. They were playing in. That's going to get down for an RBI knock. Hernandez on his way to second, and it's the Jacks taking a 1-0 lead. Just dunked it into left field again.
That one is almost getting rewarded for fouling off or fighting with the pitch. Being able to send it that far down the line is a fair ball.
He'll take it.
Reading the gap.
So will the LumberJacks. Bailey Bordas now will try and keep the ball rolling here. Takes a high fastball, 1-0.
Also got to commend Connor Hennings on that play for being able to cut that one off before it rolled in the corner. We've seen that so many times turn into three-baggers.
Yeah. Okay, he was playing in on that play. A mile high on the left side. Hayden Huff camps. And so ends the inning, but 2 pitches too late. Josh Hernandez brings home the first run of the ball game. It's a 1-0 contest. Let's go to the third. One run on 2 hits and no errors for the LumberJacks. No runs on 3 hits and no errors for the Grizzly. 2 complete. It's 9-1-2 for the Grizzly, now trailing by just 1. We head to the third to take you through the next couple of innings. Here's Sam Walters.
Thank you, Steve.
Always.
So it's Connor Hennings versus Ubaldo Romo still. Jacks took the lead 1-0 on an RBI double by Josh Hernandez. That'll be up to 9-1-2 in the order to get one back. First pitch, a strike to Connor Hennings. Center fielder rounds out this Grizzly lineup today. Pardon, left fielder. It's always a struggle with my seasonal, Steve.
Always.
That one smacked into left field. That's going to get down for a base knock. Takes a hop and goes to the other side of Fernandez, but he's able to get it in to stop him from going 2.
Well, it hasn't been a hard time getting hits today for the Grizzlies. It's been a hard time getting the hit for the Grizzly.
Now they've gotten the leadoff runner on board 3 straight innings.
And all hits today, all 4 of them to left field. Actually, all 6 in this game to left field.
They've been poking him into left center. That one was probably the best hit ball we've seen, and it was to the pull side.
Tells me guys are a little eager today.
Pick off back to first a bit late. Yeah, if I was the Grizzly, I would be eager to get a run back here. You don't want to let the LumberJacks go a few innings scoring. They can score in bunches, and they also know how to add them on all at one time. That one downstairs.
You got to imagine push comes to shove here for the Grizzly. This many base runners aboard. You can only escape jams so many times.
Eventually the floodgates will open.
Just keep doing it.
Another one low.
It'll work eventually.
So it's Antonio Cruz trying to make that happen. He got the action started in the first with a single. He's the only runner that the Grizzly have had that made it to second base. Another pickoff to first. That one a bit closer.
That's a good toss.
He's not really catching Connor Hennings on the lean. It's just a really good snap move over. Comes to the plate. That went in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Cruz back in, and a long stare from Romo. The 2-2. Swung on and missed.
Well, he had just said 2-2. Now it's 2-2. He had shown 2-2. Now it's there. Because he even checked with the other umpire.
Yeah, he just held up a 3, and then they said, nope, it's 2-2.
So you were right, Sam.
Back here again. Even 2s and a throw to first. Still late. That one into center. Chasing is Isaiah Alvarez. He's under it for the first out. Brings Connor Hennings back to first. Well, these are the ways that Ubaldo Romo works. Sometimes he's okay with conceding that leadoff batter, and sometimes that's what it takes to get him back in his groove. The one time that we saw him got shaken up this summer, it started off with an error. One went right through the legs of his second baseman. After that, it didn't look quite the same. Another pickoff to first. Connor Hennings looks pretty dirty already, and he hasn't made it past first base. Here's J.R. Freethy. First pitch in there for a strike on the right black. Freethy single back in the first. Switch hitter batting from the left-hand side versus Ubaldo Romo. Oh, misses outside. One, outside corner for a strike. 1-2 with the runner going. That one's sent out to right field. Arthur Soto's under it. He gets the throw back into first. Connor Henning's in there by about a step.
Gotta be careful there.
That one, it looked to me also like Soto didn't have the right read at first because he was kind of standing there deer in the headlights, but he only had to make about 3 steps backwards. Two outs now here in the top of the third. The Jacks leading at 1-0. Grizzly still trying to move runners into scoring position and possibly past that. It'll be up to Hayden Huff. First pitch to the shortstop, in there for a strike. Oh, 1 downstairs. Hayden Huff is second on this team in batting average. 14 hits in his first 32 in the regular season. Pitches low, skips off the glove. Vinny Pichelier couldn't bring it in, so in there sliding, Connor Hennings is just caked in dirt.
Now you kind of figured that was coming here. Hennings is getting antsy over at first. Standing there for a while.
Stood there for a while, had multiple times he had to slide back on a pickoff.
Said, you know what? I'm just going to go then.
When on the right pitch, it's 2-1 now to Hayden Huff. It's mostly Huff and Cruz that lead this Grizzly team in on-base percentage, batting average. The big hits come here and there. That one outside. When it comes to getting on base and being able to score runs, it's Hayden Huff by a mile. He has 12 runs scored in the regular season. Again, it's been no cakewalk to get here for the Grizzly. They've already had to play the Snowbirds twice in a row. Once to end the regular season and decide their seeding, and then another time in the play-in game. That one downstairs.
All just to get this opportunity to face off with the 1.
I had that as ball 4. We're going to call that a full count. Connor Hennings at second, Hayden Huff at the plate. 2 outs. The payoff. That one lays down the right side, foul. Well, that's the fullest a full count can get. Hayden Huff hanging in there with 2 outs in the top of the third. Grizzly trying to respond after the LumberJacks put up 1 in the bottom of the second. Three-two. Down and away. So Hayden Huff earns his walk.
Sure did.
The first one allowed by Ubaldo Romo. It'll take a second to round the mound and get some more rosin to face off against Jude Luttrell. Last time up, he worked Luttrell into a 6-4-3 to end the first. That one started off on a diving stop by McCaskey at short. They attack him inside, and he takes it right through the middle. That one into center field. Digging in is Connor Hennings. He'll score the first run for the Grizzly. It's 1-1.
2 reach with 2 outs, Sam.
Well, that time Connor Hennings' stolen base pays off. So RBI knock for Jude Luttrell, and we're tied at 1. Mark Kirkland digs in. He singled to open up the second. First pitch went to the same spot that he went to with Luttrell, except Luttrell put a bat on it.
Kirkland, always a dangerous bat.
Always a danger, mostly because of his good eye at the plate. Got really good discipline. The 1-0. Waved on and missed.
Great pitch there.
That one just disappeared from chest level.
Talk about good sequencing. You can continue that right here. You either repeat that pitch or tie him up inside. Gotta be careful if you repeat it though. If it leaks, it's at least 2-1.
2 on and 2 out. 1-1. Went inside with it and grounded down the first baseline. Jackson Millett tosses to Romo, who steps on the bag just before Kirkland can. That'll end the top of the third, but the Grizzlies are able to strike back and get one back. It's 1-1, heading bottom 3. I'm 1-2 due up for the Jacks. Still facing off against Alex Carrillo. It's a 1-1 ball game. Jude Luttrell tied it with an RBI knock in the top of this inning. Soto shows bunt but pulls it back. It's 1-0.
I'm curious to see, Sam, how these LumberJacks respond.
They haven't had to do that very much this season. Most of the time it's just A big inning, cruise until the end. Starting to become a back and forth affair. DeSoto pops that one into shallow left center. Coming in is Connor Hennings, and he's able to make the grab. Boy, he is still caked in all kinds of mud.
Well, Sam, the reason I bring up the response here for the LumberJacks is for one specific thing that is unique to this matchup and this matchup only. A lot of times, a 1 seed can get very comfortable. Yes, it was a 1-0 ball game, and now it's only 1-1. We still got plenty of time left here. But it's easy to let off the gas pedal when you walk into a game and you go, it's the 13 seed. We've beat them twice this year. We don't have to try as hard. Or even if it's not even on that conscious level. It's very easy to let off that gas pedal and let a team sneak in. I don't care what level where you're at. And, you know, teams many times will never admit that that's how it happens, but that happens.
You see it play out all the time. Jacob McCaskey laces one down the left side. It's 1-1. It is no easy accomplishment to win through the regular season and become the 1 seed.
Yeah, you had to go through some adversity, even though on the score sheet and the schedule it may not look that way.
McCaskey fouls off another.
No one finishes in first place when everything was easy. Again, true at any level. Even the Dodgers' route to a World Series last year wasn't easy.
1-2 upstairs.
Heck, they can't even get to first place right now. Favored heavily to repeat as World Series champs. Still can't get past San Francisco.
2-2. McCaskey still hanging in there and sends it to the bench.
Injuries always come back. Divisional foes. A couple times the LumberJacks haven't shown up this year. Even though everything is a microcosm of a full season, that doesn't mean that we don't get the same storylines playing out.
This is the first game that the LumberJacks have played in the playoffs.
Yeah, that always helps getting that first round bye. Big thing it helps with is pitching. You can match up so much better when you have that first round bye. Get your first guy up that would be an opening round guy in the quarterfinals instead. That's a big deal.
Baldo Romo is their #1 guy. McCaskey is too. Battling with Carrillo, another 2-2. Sweeps inside. One out in the bottom of the third, tie ball game. Payoff pitch. Downstairs. McCaskey able to earn his way aboard. That's the second walk by Alex Carrillo today.
Both of them full counts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
The other one to Jackson Millett last inning. He was erased off the base pass with a double play, however.
So Vinny Bichelier will keep the inning going. The second baseman popped out his first time up. Throw back. McCaskey will take a nap right quick. First pitch to Bichelier in the air, back behind the plate, is going to make it into the stands. Hello.
Right here.
Bang bop.
Bada boom boom pow. And all the way down it goes.
Boop, 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 boop. Clip, clop, clip, clop.
Off to see the wizard.
Nay. So in 1 to Bachelier. That one popped up. That one playable on the infield. Carrillo was called off by Mark Kirkland. Two outs now in the bottom of the third for Isaiah Alvarez. One runner on. McCaskey's at first. Alvarez flew out to right field his first time up.
You got to give credit to Alex Carrillo today, Sam. Yes, still early, still just the bottom of the third. But he's looking great today. Soft contact all day.
Got to bring your race stuff, and he really is doing it right now. McCaskey takes off, pitch misses high, and there's going to be no play at second. We mentioned before that this LumberJacks team in the regular season led all teams in the PSCL in stolen bases. That was McCaskey's 5th of the season. That one offered at by Alvarez. It's 1-1.
It's a good pitch. Start on the edge, break off the plate.
Not many times that Isaiah gets fooled like that. He goes halfway through a swing and says, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." The 1-1 sent back and out of play.
Draft update for you. We have a local product just taken out of UC Riverside, 421st overall by the St. Louis Cardinals. Pitcher Andre Granillo has just been drafted by the Cardinals. Congratulations to the UC Riverside product. How cool. Life changed.
One, two. That one over a jumping Vinny Bachelier at second. Coming around to score is McCaskey, a strong throw cut off. 2-1. Isaiah Alvarez works the count with 2 strikes and able to bring in McCaskey.
Well, right before that pitch was hit, Sam, there was a big secondary lead by McCaskey, and the shortstop Hayden Huff came in on the daylight play. They didn't look at him. Had they thrown there, they likely would have had McCaskey way off the bag, but instead they came to the plate, and LumberJacks are on top, 2-1.
Big RBI knock gives the Jacks the lead again. A straight Bicknell up now. Bicknell singled in the second, and his courtesy runner Kenneth Booth scored the first run for the Jacks. Isaiah goes, pitch inside, and he is out at second.
That's a heck of a toss there from Jake Biscaluz.
He's done it so far throughout the playoffs. Had 2 caught stealing versus the Snowbirds in the play-in game, and now that one ends the bottom of the third. But the Jacks jump back in front. It's 2-1, heading top 4. It's the top of the fourth. Both sides score on both sides of the frame in the third. Grizzly jumped ahead one. Jacks jumped ahead 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Grizzly respond in the top of the third, and then the Jacks get one more in the bottom of the third. It's 2-1. Ubaldo Romo still working. His first pitch misses inside to Jake Biscaluz.
Well, Jake Biscaluz is quickly becoming my favorite catcher in the PSCL this year.
He's got it on both sides, doesn't he?
He is just making his name known right now, and he is looking really good at both sides.
Pitch in there for a strike. Biscaluz did it all in his last outing. When they played the Snowbirds back on Sunday in the play-in game, Biscaluz had 4 RBI, 2 caught stealing. That went in the dirt.
He got buckled last time by Romo. We'll see if he makes an adjustment here. More couple draft updates. They're starting to take some California kids. White Sox just selected a Golden West College kid, Noah Owen, pitcher, 425th overall.
Fell back.
And Cleveland, 426th overall, just took a UC Irvine kid, pitcher Trenton Dennell. So back-to-back California kids, and a couple of them over this 14th round. Also saw earlier an OCC kid got taken. So out of Orange Coast College, pretty nearby. Lots of local guys starting to go here.
2-2 fought off and popped in the air. Shallow right center coming in to make the play is Soto. And he held on to it.
No,
I thought that ball got
didn't.
down. Did he?
He didn't. He did not catch that ball. There's no way. That ball popped out.
They are playing it as if he caught that ball.
That ball bounced. That's a gift. I can't believe they're not arguing it either.
Arthur Soto came in sliding, and they're saying he made that play.
Oof. I'm very surprised.
On either side of the ball, that might be a robbery.
I mean, got to give all the credit to Arthur Soto. That was a long way to run. Wow. All right.
That went into center on the first pitch. Alex Carrillo flies out for the second inning.
Sam, does that change this inning?
Really could.
Already has. You don't know if Carrillo swings first pitch there. Blink of an eye, there's 2 outs. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Michael Macias digs in with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. He swings at the first pitch. Ubaldo Romo takes a second just to step around. He's got Macias behind, 0-1. His next pitch, another one waved out and missed.
That's starting to work really well right now.
That one's just catching batters off guard each time.
Yeah, they're always out in front of it.
Two strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Romo. That one flips out on the outside corner.
Man, Sam, we've seen, and obviously we see in the league, jerseys similar, but these are almost identical. The same shade of green.
Same shade, and they also, the only thing that makes them different is that there's no white trim on the back for the Grizzly. Also, considering some of the numbers are different on the Grizzly, you can't tell their teammates apart sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them have that scripted letter, and some of them have the block athletic numbers. Macias, namely one that has the very block numbers that are similar to the LumberJacks. Another pitch with 2 strikes, misses down low.
And breaking ball there. Bet he goes back fastball here.
I thought he was going to go back to it immediately when he got Macias down 0-2. The pitch went fastball and missed outside. It's a full count.
Yeah, he's spinning off of that fastball right now. He's letting his body slide further down the first base line.
Full count pitch. Went breaking ball, and Macias able to foul it off.
It's much better. We talk about repeatability of delivery. And Ubaldo Romo, those last 2 pitches were much different, getting much different results. Got to repeat that throw. Doesn't matter what pitch you're throwing, you got to repeat it.
Another 3-2.
See,
Downstairs.
his finish is so much further towards first. That wasn't as egregious as 2 pitches ago. But your finish on your delivery matters so much. When he falls back off towards the first base side harsher, that means it's down and out to righties. So if I'm an opposing batter, I'm watching out for that. I'm noticing, going, hey, this is a tell.
Macias at first and 2 outs for Connor Hennings. He led off the third with a single and ended up scoring. He fouls the first part and he pops the pitch on the infield. McCaskey has it, and that will end the top of the 4th.
Just a quick point on that again, Sam. You see how different that changeup is as opposed to his fastball? I'm really hoping the Grizzlies start picking up on that and they can start putting better swings on the ball.
We'll see how much longer he and Carrillo go. We're in the bottom of the 4th next. Bottom 4, it's 2-1 LumberJacks over the Grizzly. Jacks up to bat now after Ubaldo Romo was able to strand a runner back in the top of the 4th. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Jacks, Bicknell, Millett, and Farina. Alex Carrillo still working for the Grizzly. He has allowed 2 runs to score. 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd. First pitch to Drake Bicknell's in there for a strike on the outside corner. Bicknell was up to bat back in the bottom of the 3rd when Isaiah Alvarez was caught stealing. 0-1 got a piece of it back to the net. It's our first game of 2 in the PSCL playoffs today. Scheduled after this, we have Haymakers and Blue Sox. Slated for 11:30, but I'll have that coverage for you about 30 minutes after this game ends. The 0-2. Bignell takes it to the right side, looping towards the line, and is down for a base hit. Good on Drew Luttrell to not overrun that ball. It hit the grass and died. Second time the Bicknell's aboard today. Once again, he'll have a courtesy runner. This time it's someone different. It's Kenneth Booth last time.
Can't quite tell still. Is that Josh Katakatan?
I think so.
Petition for 2022. Numbers on the front of the jerseys, please.
I'd sign it.
Yeah.
Change.org.
You know it.
Here's
Have two
Jackson Millett.
signatures.
That's all you need. That one up on the infield, back behind the plate, giving chase is Biscaluz. He makes an attempt at it. It went right past his glove. He had to bend his back to get it.
Yeah, ball always sails back in when it has that spin. Always a tough play, too, when it's right up against the fence. You don't know exactly where that ball is going to end up. It's just swirling and swirling and swirling. Doesn't necessarily have matter how much time you have, but as a catcher, that's the hardest play you'll ever see.
Carrillo has Millett at an 0-1 count and throws back to first. The 0-1. Missed upstairs. One pitch to Jackson Millett. Another one up.
That's twice he hit that same spot.
Another throw to Chase Katakatan at first. Another pitch to Millett is smacked into left field for a base hit. Katakatan only makes it to second. But Millett aboard, and two straight base hits open up the bottom of the fourth for the Jacks.
That's probably the hardest hit ball we've seen today.
Jackson Millett doesn't hold back. That'll draw a visit for Alex Carrillo. So again, after this one, Haymakers and Blue Sox scheduled as the next game in the PSCL playoffs here in the stadium. Have Bombers and Chill facing off over on the turf field. The semifinals tomorrow, but tonight we'll have a PSCL All-Star game here in the stadium. That's almost all we know, quite honestly. That game is scheduled for 7:05 here in Palm Springs Stadium. Will be treated as if it was a power game. Gates open at 6 o'clock. I believe it's $2 Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir. $2 draft beers.
Come on out to the ballpark. If you can't, we'll have the stream for you on YouTube.
That's the best deal in town.
Gotta be. Gotta get gat. In the words of
Boom, boom, pow.
Mr. William, he is.
William, he is.
So they're done chatting with Carrillo. It's runners on first and second and no outs in the bottom of the fourth. Elvis Farina digs in. He grounded out into a double play back in the second. Very similar situation as it was in the second also. Two runners on, and a 1-6-3 was able to cut down two of those then. Farina looking for better results this time. He shows bunt. Pulls back on a high pitch.
Good on Hayden Huff. Streaking towards third.
Making sure you have all of your bases covered.
Literally.
Actually. The 1-0, Farina squares again and fouls that one off.
That's odd that Farina offered at that one. That was nowhere near the strike zone.
There is a right-hander warming up for the Grizzly. Carrillo set again. That one got down for Farina. That's going to move both into scoring position, and Farina is safe. He went blazing down the line. That one placed in no man's land.
That was a perfect bunt. Couldn't put it any better.
Well, after seeing him offer at one, he probably shouldn't have the pitch before. He's able to get one down, and that'll load the bases with no one out.
A big opportunity for the Jacks to distance themselves.
And Josh Hernandez up. I believe that might be Nathan Smith warming up for the Grizzly.
On it. Problem is we never call the Grizzly games, so I have to scroll so far back in my book.
I've seen him 3 times in the last week. That is much more frequent than we ever had.
Yeah.
Hernandez takes a pitch inside. It's 1-0. He's able to send one the opposite way back in the second for an RBI double.
Problem is every time we see the Grizzly, they always send 1 or 2 pitchers.
Yep.
So we don't get a look at their pen.
The 1-0, Hernandez sends that down the left field line out of play. Carrillo working to Hernandez with the bases loaded. Jacks already lead at 2-1. Big chance here to add some pad. That one misses upstairs. It's 2-1. Got a score update from the turf field. Bombers are leading the Chill 9-1 in the top of the 6th. The Chill on the brink of elimination.
So the Bombers are moving on.
2-1. Hernandez fouls another one out.
Well, Sam, whoever 36 is, we haven't seen him this year. I have no 36 in any of the Grizzly games in my book, so.
We will find out possibly momentarily. As a 2-2 comes home, Hernandez waves and misses at that one. A good off speed there for Alex Carrillo for the first out.
That's his first strikeout today, Sam.
I was just checking and was about to say the same thing.
That's bizarre. Took him 3+ innings.
Feels like we always see it in the best spot. No better time to do it than right then. So 1 out and base is still loaded. Bailey Bordas due up. He popped out to the infield his first time. First pitch, he squares to bunt.
They were safety squeezing there.
Yeah, Katakatan took off from third.
Would have been the first time we saw that.
We've seen some wild things happen.
Quick draft update. Another UC Irvine arm has been taken by the Orioles. 16th round, Peter Van Loon.
They're already in the 16th.
16th round. I tell you, they move on day 3.
They're hustling.
There's about 2 to 3 picks a minute.
Hard 90.
It is. It is a hard 90. So, again, that's the second pitcher from UC Irvine, and we just got another one From CSU Bakersfield, not too far away, outfielder goes to the Diamondbacks. Jason Robertson has just been selected 468th overall. So lots of California kids starting to go. A lot of college guys that are now the ones that start going. They start taking less and less high school players as we get later into the draft because those kids are unlikely to sign this late. They'll go try and improve their stock in college.
Sam DiMatteo has a chat with Bailey Bordas here. Jacks really need to capitalize. They loaded the bases with no outs. Have not been able to scratch across the run here in the the bottom of the fourth. Catacatan at third, Millett at second, Farina at first. 3 straight singles. Bailey Bordas at the plate. The 0-1 from Alex Carrillo. Another one sent back to the net.
Talked about the weak contact we've seen on both sides of the ball. Bailey Bordas had a weak pop out back in the second. Like to see him try and square something up here just like we saw Jackson Millett earlier in the inning.
It's 0-2 to Bordas. Doesn't chase one outside. One, two with the bags loaded. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 for Alex Carrillo. Another one that couldn't have come at a better time. Worked his way down to the bottom of the lineup. It's up to Arthur Soto.
And they're not desperate for runs, but 2-1 ain't exactly a healthy lead.
First pitch. That one hit Soto. Arthur Soto wears one, clips him just on the back of the jersey, and that'll bring in another run for the Jacks. It's 3-1.
That's big for the LumberJacks.
That's a tough break for Alex Carrillo.
Yeah, especially after back-to-back strikeouts. That might be it for him. It is. And he gutted his way through, but just ran into too much trouble here in the fourth.
So they'll take the baseball away. After 3 2/3 from Alex Carrillo, a new arm will come in for the Grizzly. It's 3-1 Jacks with the bases still loaded and 2 outs. So the Grizzly will turn to a new arm here. It's Johnny Young. 6'1", 200 out of Lassen College.
Young spent the regular season with the Snowbirds and has been added to the roster here for today because his team got eliminated earlier. He didn't get another opportunity to come out of the pen.
His first pitch is a wild pitch, and it's going to bring in another run for the Jacks. It's 4-1.
He hasn't pitched since July 7th. Likely would have been going in this round had the Snowbirds advanced.
So he moves to the team that eliminated his. Grizzly and the Snowbirds fought in that playoff game, the first play-in game. The Grizzly advanced. The wild pitch scores Jackson Millett. Both runners move up to second and third. So 1-0 count to Jacob McCaskey. He watches one miss high. Young on for the 7th time this year. 20 in the 3rd innings. Giving up 10 earned runs, 1 homer.
Only his 3rd relief appearance.
Has 22 strikeouts, looking for 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-0 to Jacob McCaskey.
Last time he pitched again was against the Blue Sox. Went
They're-
5 innings in that ball game.
They're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Jacob McCaskey.
Yeah, might as well. No point in trying to come back.
So they'll deal with Vinny Bachelier instead, who's 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs. Grizzly trying to keep it in scoring distance. That one misses downstairs.
Well, you want to miss up to Bachelier. Twice he has popped out today.
Make him chase.
It's the 8th batter of the inning, Sam. Big frame here for the LumberJacks. Could get bigger.
Pitch in there with the bases loaded.
Johnny Young has faced the LumberJacks before, back in his first outing of the year on June 19th. He pitched 2 innings. Didn't allow a hit or a run.
That one in the air on the infield. Vinny Bachelier pops out for the 3rd time. Mark Kirkland handles it, and that will end the bottom of the 4th. The Jacks score 2 more. It's 4-1. Top 5 coming up next. Ubaldo Romo is still working to the Grizzly lineup. We're in the top of the fifth, top of the order due up for the Grizzly. Cruz, Freethy, and Huff. First pitch in for a strike. Romo working with a 3-run lead. It's 4-1. Loser of this game faces elimination here. 0-1 a bit downstairs. Arm warming up for the Grizzly. Justin Ruthroff is taking warm-ups back in the Grizzly bullpen. Martine Neal would be the first out for the Jacks. So things got out of hand for Romo here. It's 2-1 to Antonio Cruz. He's 1 for 2, singled to open the game back in the top of the first.
Got a couple more California draftees here I can get you in just a second.
Cruz taps that one to short. McCaskey runs in, handles, throws to first, and that'll retire Cruz with the first out in the fifth.
Okay, here they are from the Phillies now out of Glendale College in nearby Los Angeles. Ty Collins has been selected 475th overall. Had a couple more here. A lot of drafts. Again, a lot of draftees coming back to back. Out of UCLA, Cleveland selects pitcher Zach Petway, 486th overall.
First pitch from Romo runs inside and hits J.R. Freethy. First hit batter of the day for Ubaldo.
Long Beach State, Minnesota Twins, 489th overall, pitcher Jonathan LaValle. So we've seen a couple of Big West guys go today. 2 UCI kids. Yesterday we saw Tanner Bybee from Cal State Fullerton, and now we see a couple Long Beach kids going. And another one from the Pittsburgh Pirates, 493rd overall out of St. Mary's College. Carlos Lamelli, pitcher, has been drafted.
Throw back to Chase Freethy was just out of time.
Got another JUCO guy for the Orioles, 497th out of Pomona Pitzer College. Ryan Long, right-handed pitcher.
First pitch to Hayden Huff, scoots by the backstop. Taking second is J.R. Freethy. We're starting to see Romo lose a bit of control.
Bit of a longer inning sitting in that dugout for him.
Yeah.
Seeing the effects here in the early of the fifth.
Looked like it probably also crossed up Drake Bicknell behind the plate. He was set up outside, and that one ran in on the shoes of a right-handed hitter, Hayden Huff. The 1-0. Huff spits on it. 2-0.
Might be the last inning here for Ubaldo Romo. You'd like to see him potentially be available in a Wednesday night relief role, if possible. 3-run pad isn't insurmountable, but it's strong enough.
Another one fades off the plate. It's 3-0 to Hayden Huff. Again, Martine Neal, first one due up out of the bullpen. He's warming right now.
He's pitching on the smallest amount of rest that he has had this summer, 4 days. He's done that a couple of times, but every other time it's been 5 days of rest. So, a day and a half might get him good for an inning tomorrow night, if possible. Maybe like the 6th, 7th. Remember, that is a 9-inning ball game tomorrow night, if they get there.
Yep. Going to need all hands on deck.
And you know he'd take the ball if he felt he was ready.
Much as he did today. 3-0 to Huff downstairs.
Yeah, I think they might just go get him here.
Looks like that's what they'll do. We'll see if Sam DiMatteo calls, and he will call for Martin Neal from the bullpen.
Yeah, again, I think this is a setup here.
So Aiden Huff walks. There's 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th, and that'll be the end of the day for Ubaldo Romo.
But if he is not available tomorrow night, one heck of a season for Ubaldo Romo. He's getting lots of hugs here.
Absolutely. We'll tell you more about Martin Neal and Jude Luttrell due up to face him here in the top of the 5th up next. So Martin Neal is ready to go here in the top of the 5th. There's 1 out and 2 on. Ubaldo Romo exited after hitting a batter and walking the next one. Neal working against Jude Luttrell. His first pitch is outside. Martin Neal, 5'10", 156. Don't forget the 6. Out of Hartford College.
This will be his 8th appearance all out of the bullpen this year.
He's been the most reliable arm for them. They love matching up Martin with Ubaldo Romo. No one misses upstairs, 2-0.
Line right now for Romo, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a hit batter. That could obviously change with the runners on first and second, his responsibility.
Martin has worked 11 2/3 so far this season. He's allowed 2 earned runs. That went in there for a strike. Only given up 3 hits this entire season. The main issue has been walks. 8 walks and 3 hit by pitches in those 8 outings.
You can say that for almost everybody, Sam.
Yep. That one they appeal, they say he did not go. Jude Luttrell just able to keep it back.
I think he got away with one right there.
I think so too.
Changes this at bat.
The intensity has changed a lot from when Romo was on the mound. Martin Neal really pounds the strike zone. 3-1 on the outside corner.
I think the Grizzly feel they have an opportunity here. Which, hey, first and second, 1 out, they do.
Don't want to waste it.
Chasing 3.
Terrell had an RBI single his last time up. And that one he watches miss outside, ball 4.
Remember when I said that changes the at-bat?
Happened.
Changes the inning, changes the game.
They put the bat in the hands of Mark Kirkland with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the 5th. It's a 4-1 ball game. LumberJacks scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Neal, bit high to Kirkland. Kirkland 1 for 2. He singled in the second. Grounded out back in the third. 1-0, foul back. One pitch, sent down the line, foul. The 1-2, another one fouled off. Good battle here.
How many times have we said this, Sam? Mark Kirkland, right spot. This is the guy you want.
A better time than bases loaded in the playoffs. Another 1-2, sent right back up the middle, past a diving Vinny Bichelier. 1 run scores, another one coming to the plate. Jude Luttrell digs into third. 2 RBI single for Mark Kirkland makes it a 1-run game.
Just a good piece of hitting there from Kirkland. Back up the box to where it came from. Wasn't trying to be fancy with it. Both those runs charged to Ubaldo Romo. His day is now done. 3 runs all earned against him. It's a brand new game.
It's 4-3. Jack still up by 1.
We mentioned it earlier. This Grizzly team can do this. They can make this an upset.
All the potential in the world at the moment. Jake Biscalou's up with runners on the corners and 1 out.
Martin Neal, by the way, 90-91 with his heater today.
Biscalou squares to bunt. Sees the first pitch in. Misses high.
Yeah, don't sleep on Luttrell getting to third there.
Nope.
Good base running.
He was booking it around second. Mark Kirkland able to come through, right place, right time.
With 2 strikes.
1-0 to Biscalou's in there for a strike.
This is the guy I'm looking for here, right here. Quiet today, not this week. Due for it.
Was 2 for 4 in the play-in game versus the Snowbirds. 4 RBI. Looking for his first hit tonight. Right here wouldn't be a bad time. Missed outside. 2-1. We know that Martin Neal has big stuff. It's about being able to control it. Throw to Chase Kirkland back to first. The 2-1 from Neal fades off the plate. Good stop on the backhand by Bicknell.
Grizzly are very much alive right now.
The bench most certainly is. They're down by 1. Tying run 90 feet away. The go-ahead at first.
Said this the last couple of days, Sam. Don't want this to be your last game. It's a long offseason.
3-1 in there for a strike. Biscalou's tossed the bat.
It's a big pitch for Martin Neal right here.
Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and missed by Biscalou's. Big time strikeout for Martin Neal for the second out here in the 5th.
Gonna get a pinch hitter, Sam. Looks like Chris Aguilar. Nope, scratch it. JJ Engman coming to the plate, batting for Alex Carrillo.
Alex Carrillo's day was done back in the 4th. They're going to have a chat with Martin Neal here. No one warming up in the bullpen, just looking the game plan here.
It's going to be a whole meeting. Don't blame them.
They draw the entire infield into the mound.
Make sure they're still on pace. Make sure they're keeping their heads in this ball game. Talked about that letdown yesterday with 2 outs, Sam. How that can plague teams at every level.
Can't afford to let it happen again here today.
Especially with a 1-run lead late.
J.J. Ingman leads the Grizzly in nearly every offensive category. Batting average, OBP, slugging, OPS.
Which is even weirder why he didn't start today.
First pitch into Ingman as a strike.
I wouldn't leave that there again. That had some good bite to it, but he left it hanging.
Martin Neal trying to work out of a jam with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Skipped by Drake Bicknell. Actually, it hit J.J. Ingman. So Jude Luttrell, who tried to advance to home plate, we sent back to third. But that will reload the bases.
Weirdly, that's a gift.
Yeah. Otherwise, a tying run comes in to score. And also, you avoid having to really pitch to the best hitter on the team, stats-wise. So it's Michael Macias. Bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Grizzly down by 1. The first pitch, good. Stop by Bicknell on the backhand. Macias walked back in the 4th. Popped out on the first pitch in the 2nd.
Eight-batter inning.
1-0 in for a strike. One. Fouled out of play.
This has got to be your best pitch right here, Martin Neal. Don't waste time. You don't want to go 2-2. Got to find the strike zone, pick a corner.
One ball and 2 strikes.
He wants to talk about it.
Jude Luttrell is at third. Mark Kirkland at second. J.J. Ingman at first.
This was a strategy talk. This was, I don't want to flash a sign. Tell me what you want to pitch. So they won't flash anything. If they do, it's just for show.
Neal back on. The 1-2 to Macias. Hangs in there and fouls it back.
Oof, man, barely got a piece of it. That's not where he wanted it. They wanted that down and away. It came back over the plate. They might go to it again here. Try and blow it past him and put it in the right spot.
Time call to the plate by Macias. Another 1-2. That one lifted to right field. Playable for Arthur Soto. He's over. He makes the grab, and they will strand the bases loaded. 2 runs come in to score earlier in this top of the 5th. It's 4-3. The LumberJacks still hanging on to a 1-run lead.
Excuse me? What's this?
Isaiah Alvarez will lead it off for the LumberJacks. Trying to add some more pad. They had a 4-1 lead, but 2 runs surrendered in the top of the 5th. Johnny Young still working for the Grizzly. His first pitch misses high to Alvarez. Three, 4, 5 in the order, 2 up for the Jacks. Alvarez, Bicknell, and Millett. Alvarez sees one in for a strike. Johnny Young allowed 2 runs to score back in the bottom of the 4th. Isaiah Alvarez was the only batter he did not face in the lineup. That one waved on and missed. The 1-2 to Alvarez. Ran inside. The LumberJacks had Martin Neal come in at the right time. He allowed 2 runs on Ubaldo Romo's docket to score, but ended up straining the bases loaded with the lead intact. Alvarez rung up, strike 3. Johnny Young gets his second strikeout. Pardon, third strikeout. Third strikeout of the day for the Grizzly staff brings up Drake Bicknell. First pitch foul back. Bicknell 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. He's had 2 courtesy runners score in his place. The 0-1, bit high. One sweeps off the plate. Action in both bullpens currently. 2-1 skips past Biscalous. Johnny Young trying to keep this game where it is. 1-run deficit in the playoffs is never going to be too tall of a task. Just have to keep it within striking distance. 3-1. Up in the air, back behind the plate, now to play. Bicknell looking at a full count. The pitch from Johnny Young. That one's grounded up the middle, handled by the shortstop, Hayden Huff. His throw to first is in time. Good play ranging to his left, able to cut down Bicknell. Credit to the scoop by Kirkland at first. Jackson Millett digs in. He has the hardest hit ball to be seen today. A rocket single back in the fourth. He sends that one in the air to right. Jude Luttrell chasing. He's able to bring it in, and that will end the fifth inning. So the Jacks still hanging on to a one-run lead over the Grizzly, but the Bears' bats are due up in the top of the sixth, trailing by 1.